hard work, doesn't matter. I still hear my dreams shatter. Every time I clock in, it sinks in, but I'm still at it. Every day this shit everlasting. I don't know how I still manage to go to work when it ain't my passion. I'm just trying to live happy after. People wanna play on my fall. Fuck you, get off my balls. Less you the baddest bitch with some curvy hips. Well then, I'ma break you off. God damn, niggas tryna be my fam. That shit will get you jammed. Like fuck you, boy, you ain't my mans. My niggas right here.
Let the people know what you do, a little bit of your backstory and how you got started.
Alright, well, first and foremost, my name is E.Berrios. I'm a hip-hop artist. I actually been doing it for a minute. Started writing music when I was about 7, 8 years old. Doing a little bit of poetry, writing short stories. I just used to like to write stuff all the time and, you know, try to paint pictures with words. I started that at a very early age, and then that just kind of translated into songs. So it's always just been a part of me, a part of my life. Always loved music. I was born in North Philly, raised in North Philly up until I was 11 years old. My family was fortunate enough to get out of there. We moved up to Northeast Philly, so I spent a good portion of my life in North Philly and another portion of my life in Northeast Philly, but I became a man in Northeast Philly, so the short answer, when most people ask me where I'm from, I say Northeast Philly because that's the short answer. But all of my family's from North Philly for the most part. But yeah, and nobody really inspired me to like get started or nothing like that. It just kind of came. It just kind of came naturally for real. I remember the first hip hop song I ever heard was Biggie's "Hypnotized," and that was like the first hip hop song I ever heard. But for the most part, I was never really exposed to hip hop music or nothing like that. You know, I would probably hear like rhymes on like TV or something like that, and then like go and try to write like another poem or something. Like I would watch like shows and probably see poetry or something like that, and then try to do my own thing. But I don't know, it just gradually turned into rap after that.
Right. So, what are some of your musical influences?
Some of my musical influences I would have to say is first and foremost Jadakiss and Fabulous. Just for one, those two, just their wordplay was always crazy. It still is crazy. Like I always look to those two to like step my game up. You know what I mean? Like I was always like trying to study their rhyme patterns and their lyrics and see how they like delivered things, they punchlines, how they was flowing on beats, and I just tried to emulate that for the longest time. And it was really Jadakiss though. Like it was just everything about Jadakiss's delivery and his flow that used to really influence me to just try to come up with the craziest bars. But I'm a lover of hip hop, so as the years went on, there's many other influences. But I would have to say that my biggest ones would be like Fabulous, Jadakiss. I would have to say Kanye West for sure. Kanye West definitely changed the game, especially for me. I feel like Kanye opened the door for artists to be themselves for real. You know what I mean? Like most of hip hop that I was listening to was like street hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it always was. That's what I grew up on. And Kanye was like the first to really switch it up for real. He gave us like a different perspective and all that. And it was more realistic. You know what I mean? It was more realistic. It was more relatable to like me, my life, and like my situations. So Kanye was a big influence. I had to say Jay-Z, of course, Biggie, Big Pun, and let's just go on and on and on. We could be here all night. Eminem, the list just constantly go on.
Right. So tell us about your new EP.
My new EP, Making Things Right, dropped on January 7th, 2018. The project is exactly what it is. It's a project. It just kind of came together over the years. Like I said, I've been doing this for a minute. I've been on the scene in Philly probably about like 6, 7 years now. Just doing different shows and going to different venues, doing showcases, things like that. Putting music out, constantly putting music up on the internet and all that. And there came a point where like things just wasn't happening for me. You know what I mean? Like we was all clicked up. You know what I mean? We had a crew, had my own personal engineer who still produces for me, actually, Davon. He also made the cover art, so shout out to him. But basically, you know, everybody just kind of grew up. Everybody just got the responsibilities just got in the way. So I wasn't able to like record music the way I wanted to, and I was forced to like have to go to studios. I go to studios, I get my music back. It wasn't sounding the way I wanted it to. It was switching my sound up. Um, you know, I was trying to work with other artists. Things were just getting very, very political. Uh, things just wasn't coming together pretty much. Make a long story short, and so I was in a position where I just had to like do something on my own to get things done. So I had some beats, I had some ideas, I had some concepts, some things that I knew what I wanted to do. I just couldn't really do it, so I had to take the beats that I had, take the concepts that I had, and just try and make it work. So I went out, bought a mic. I upgraded my mic actually. I had a different mic before, and got my recording equipment and stuff. Basic of the basic, but started recording myself, and I don't know, it all kind of came together. I started working at a studio, at Level 89 Studio. Started working there to just sit around people, try to understand the music game a little more, try to understand more about recording, audio engineering, so I could try to learn how to record myself. And 89, the engineer, and also eTunes. Shout out to eTunes. Um, they gave me somewhere to go to be able to sit back and watch and learn, and started learning and recording. I recorded with them for a little bit, recorded 3 songs with them. That's on the project. The first 3 tracks of the project I recorded with eTunes and 89. And I did 3 other tracks, Perk Deja Vu and TTW. I did those records. Entourage I did with Andrew Mia Ray. But yeah, I knew what I needed to get done, so I just went and got the equipment. I did the recording of 3 songs, got them mixed, and now we here. Uh, but the project itself, as far as where I was mentally, I had to really dig deep and go back to my roots. I came to a point where like I was extremely tired of like music and all the nonsense that was happening, all the BS, so to say, um, all the political nonsense. Just I was tired of being stagnant, so I had to take matters into my own hands and get it done. But I was like losing respect for my craft. I was losing the passion for my craft, and I had to get that back. So I had to go back and listen to all my favorite artists again, and really just dig deep and just pull everything out of me. And I had to get at people more of me and more of my backstory. I feel like it was kind of hard for me to give myself on in the music. Like that was always the biggest challenge, was giving myself in real situations and put it into the music, put it in the words that rhyme. But I feel like over the years I've been working on that. So that was the biggest challenge. That, and besides trying to learn how to mix and you know record music, but you ain't got no experience doing it. But that's how it came together, man. I just made it happen.
Give us your top 5 albums
My top 5 albums
of all time.
Damn, of all time. That's not even easy. Well, I would have to say my top 5 albums of all time. I would have to say would be Kiss of Death. That album right there. I studied that album. I studied that album like crazy. Like I used to listen to that album like 15, 20 times a day. I had it in a CD player, just had that joint on repeat all the way through. I would have to say Yeah Baby by Big Pun. That's another one of my favorite albums of all time. Um, I have to say Biggie's Life After Death for sure. Uh, that's one of my favorite albums of all time. I would have to say Kanye West's College Dropout for sure. Um, So many good albums. So many good albums.
One more.
I'm gonna have to let me. And I wanna put um I wanna put Eminem in this category. I really do. But I'm gonna put 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying on there. Um, I love Eminem. He's definitely in my top 10 greatest albums of all time. But that Get Rich or Die Trying album was crazy.
Yeah, that list's pretty solid.
It's hard putting that together though. It's hard putting that together.
What was your favorite performance
My favorite performance
of yourself?
of
Yeah.
myself. In the city, I would have to say my favorite performance would have to be the one I did at the One Art Community Center in West Philly. That was this past summer. Environment was the best environment I've ever been in. It was peaceful. I supported every artist that went up there. Everyone was respectful. It was just an overall fun night. But that night in particular, it was special for me because it was a minute since I performed. Like I had to be at least like maybe a year and a half to 2 years before I had stepped on the stage, and this was my first performance getting back. And I ain't really had no new music like that because I was still trying to work on recording myself at the time, and I had to resort to some older songs that I had been performing for a while, and I didn't really want to do that. But also that night, the only person that was there with me was my girl. That was it. There was nobody else in the crowd for me. So like, it was somewhat uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Like, cause for the first time in a long time, I was uncomfortable about stepping on that stage because I didn't know what to expect. I was a little bit out of my element. You know, nobody showed up. So, and it's been years since I performed, so I had to really pull it out of me. But I feel like that's the best energy that I ever had. It was definitely the most tiring performance I ever had because I gave it everything that night.
So, give us your top three. If I was to put somebody new to your music, give us your top three records, your go-to records.
My top three go-to records. And we're not talking about freestyles, we're talking about actual records.
It can be whatever.
It could be whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something that's gonna get them like, damn.
Okay, so I would have to say Been On is one of my favorite records. For one, because I tell you about my backstory and how I kind of came to be where I am now as an artist. Kind of summarized it, and I feel like that started to become the beginning of like that started like the beginning of like somewhere along the lines of like where my sound is. I don't have one particular sound. I would like to say that I'm a versatile artist, but I feel like that was the turning point. Like when I made that song, that was the turning point. Was where like I really got a lot more comfortable with being myself and putting myself into the records, and not just on certain records, but every record. You know what I mean? And that's definitely one of my top ones. I would also have to say, this is hard too. I would have to say probably Sinatra is one of my favorite records. Sinatra on that record, I feel like I spent real good on that one. Man, and I just dropped this EP, so I would have to say TTW. TTW is my favorite song right now, actually. And the reason why I like TTW is because besides the fact that, you know, it's true when I'm spitting on a record, but TTW, I did that. Like I did the recording and the mixing of that record. You know what I mean? So I'm super proud of that. And I don't know, it's really one of my favorite records. Like if it wasn't my record, I think I would still love that record. So I would have to say Been On, Sinatra, and TTW.
Any upcoming visuals?
Any upcoming visuals? Yeah. Right. We just shot the video for Perk, and that's for Making Things Right. We got that video coming, and I would really like to shoot videos for every record on the project, honestly. But I'm really trying to see what the people what the people think. You know, what do they want to see? You know what I mean? So I've been trying to really get everybody's opinion and feedback on that. But
And you dropped one before the project too, right?
Yeah. So I dropped the TTW when I put the project.
Running up a check, I'm trying to lose this debt. Took too many L's, yeah, it's time to win. Rumble in the jungle, took it on the chin. No more being humble, dog, it's time to win. Yeah. I've been stressing, going crazy. Smoking on that gasoline, and now I look sedate. Ashes on my diesel jeans, boy, I'm really fade. Smelling like an ounce, I spray Dior to fumigate me.
And then I dropped the Entourage before that.
Need an entourage, as long as you by my side. I promise to do you right, as long as you in my life. I know that you down to ride, girl, that ain't a question. Saw you for the first time, knew you were a blessing. I want this shit forever, I want this shit forever. I wanna see you every minute, every single second. I want this shit forever, I want this shit forever. I wanna see you every minute, every single second, yeah.
So I dropped Entourage in like the summertime, and I didn't even know that was really gonna make the project. But I had dropped Entourage first. Then after Entourage, TTW came about last minute. Like I had another song on the project. The song was done, ready to go to mastering. I only had a week to put the song together and get it ready to be mastered because I had my appointments and everything. And I got a beat from Davon, and I said, this beat's crazy, I want to do it. I sat down, wrote it, recorded, started mixing it, took it to the studio, and that's how TTW came about.
Cool. So plug everybody with all your info, man. Before we get up out of here.
So Instagram is E.Berrios, so it's E.Berrios, that's Instagram. Twitter is at Eddie B215, Facebook.com/EddieB215. I'm also on YouTube. It's E.Berrios215 on YouTube. But yeah, just type in E.Berrios on Google. You'll be able to find me on Spotify, iTunes. SoundCloud is also Eddie B215. So I'm constantly putting out new music all the time. I've become a fan series where I'm putting out freestyles on like a monthly basis, sometimes a bi-weekly basis. I'm putting out singles. So yeah, hopefully y'all just keep looking out for me, and hopefully I can keep impressing y'all and relating to y'all. Y'all keep feeling the music.
It's only right I get to speak my mind. It's only right I get a minute to shine and spare my mental decline. A lot of shit on my mind, now you ain't safe. Deal with bullshit all the time, I can't escape. I just need a little advice, some shit to drink, a little bit of weed and some food, and I'll be straight. Cause where the fuck else I'ma turn with all you snakes? Some people are so fake, have pride for God's sake. Damn, I'm just saying, I've been trying to land. I've been smoking this gas, this shit got me upset. My butt is grade A, like get your station exam. When you trust somebody, it's never part of the plan. It just happens, shit happens though. I'm not a perfect man, and love does hurt, like you wouldn't understand. Learn to play the field and both sides of the fence, and putting your guard up the first line of defense. Cause you never know, shit can get real in a second. You can have so many issues, you forget to count your blessings. I don't never play the victim, I just get it how I'm living. Man, college was overrated, I just wanna be a spitter. I finished my plan B just to see my family grinning, but I'm really fucked up. They assume that I'm winning, but life without strain is like pleasure without pain. We like the janitor, all trying to maintain real life. Yeah, it's real life.